Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are looking for the next attacking midfielder at the club, and Mikel Arteta is obsessed with Oihan Sancet. However, Arsenal have a couple of options in that position: Xavi, Simons, Arda Guler, and a couple of others. In this video, let's dive into the latest on the attacking midfield position. Who are Arsenal looking at? Where are we on these players? And who is most likely to become the next AM at Arsenal? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know in the comment box below, who would you prefer for Arsenal to sign in that role? Fabio Vieira did come in the summer of 2023. It didn't go very well for him. That is one of the players that have come in, and we have seen what Mikel really wants from his attacking midfield in terms of positioning, in terms of the skill set, and also tactical flexibility as well. So who do you want? Is it Xavi Simons? Is it Arda Guler for you? Is it Leroy Sané on a free? Let me know in the comment box below. Now, today, according to sources in Spain, Arsenal are absolutely interested in signing one of Atletico Bilbao's midfielders, and that is Oihan Sancet. Now, Sancet is a 24-year-old midfielder, Spanish international. We've talked about him on the morning show. He's a brilliant player. He's one of those midfielders that just can't stop scoring. This season, 17 goals in a competition, and for Atletico Bilbao, just in La Liga, 15 goals for them. Now, I think Mikel Arteta has always wanted players that can get involved in the goals. And I'm not surprised that we are linked with a player that has got the numbers of Oihan Sancet. Listen, Fabio Vieira, before coming to Arsenal, he was one of those players that, promised to be a goal-scoring midfielder. The way Martin Odegaard is, the way Mikel Arteta has transformed Declan Rice, and the way he transformed Kai Havertz, and the way he has transformed, of course, Granit Xhaka as well. So what Mikel wants is a player that can come from deep into midfield, or just come from midfield, enter the penalty area, arrive in the penalty area a couple of times, and lots and lots of goals. He's tried that with a couple of players, and I think what we have seen every single season is one player comes in, it works out, but then they fall off the next campaign. You look at Granit Xhaka, struggled with that role, but during his last campaign, he was enormous. 8 goals for Arsenal in the league, and 8 assists as well. That is 16 goal contributions in that role for Granit Xhaka. And then after that, we moved on. Xhaka left, Arsenal introduced Declan Rice, and in his first season, what a season it was, scoring 8 goals as well, and assisting, I think, 7 times in that single campaign. And then, of course, Mikel Arteta looked at Declan Rice as a defensive midfielder. He brought in Kai Havertz in the same season. Kai Havertz did work out very well, but if you see what Mikel has tried to do with Mikel Merino and Kai Havertz, it tells you he wants midfielders that can actually score goals. Now, the news coming out shows that Oihan Sancet is around 60 million euros valuation, but he will cost about 80 million euros if you're going to trigger his release clause. I don't think Arsenal are going to trigger the release clause of Oihan Sancet. I think we'll try to talk to Atletico Bilbao, try to negotiate a deal. But boy, oh boy, he's got the numbers. 15 goals this season, 5 last season, and 10 the season before that. It shows you that if Mikel wants to go and, point his mark on, on that midfield, because one of the problems we're having is goals from midfield. They are not coming as much as Mikel would like to. I think the front line is doing okay, but without that prolific number 9, you've got to have enormous goal supply from these other areas of the pitch. So I won't be surprised if Oihan Sancet, for the right price, is a deal we'll do, right? In my opinion, I think 50 million euros, that could be okay. That is slightly below his market value, which is 60 million euros. If Arsenal can splash about 50 million euros, it's a much better deal. It's a much better deal than us splashing 50 million on a defensive option. But of course, we know Mikel Arteta loves his defensive options. So Oihan Sancet, one of them that Mikel Arteta really likes. Let's see if we can get that one done this summer. The next one is Arda Guler. Now, Arda Guler's profile is very, very different. But this is the news surrounding Arda Guler. Arsenal are willing to put about 40 million euros, that's around 30 million pounds, on the table for Real Madrid in order for us to sign Arda Guler. he's a genius of a talent. He's an absolute gem of a talent. There's no question about that. We've seen him at the Euros at just 18, 19. He was absolutely cooking at the Euros. One of the players that you love to watch. This generation is like full of young players just showcasing talent and becoming so important for their teams. You have the likes of Lamine Yamal, Bukayo Saka, Ethan Nwaneri, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer. It's just a generation of young players showcasing their talent and stepping up for their teams. Arda Guler is one of those players. I absolutely love him. Now, the news is that Arsenal want him and they would love to splash around 40 million euros. Madrid are not giving him the game time that he actually wants. And I asked myself a question in the summer of 2024, was it? 2024, 2023. And I was like, why is Arda Guler really going to Real Madrid? There was the Barcelona project, which needed reinforcements. Of course, there was Pedri there, and Xavi maybe said, I don't want to go to Barca. There is Pedri, there is Xavi. It's not going to work out for me. That's understandable. Dortmund were interested. Arsenal were interested as well. I don't know why he went for Madrid, a team that is... I don't think Madrid are really good with youngsters. And I could have this bias, but I don't think Madrid are going to develop your career as a youngster, unless otherwise. But anyway, Arda Guler wanted by Arsenal. Now, Arda Guler's profile is so similar to Martin Odegaard's. Two players that I can look at and like, yeah, they are very, very similar. Playing style, they love to be on the ball. They love to. They've got that magic. They're so talented, and you can feel it in the air when they're in possession of the ball. But I don't think Arda Guler is as risk-taking as Oihan Sancet. I don't think he's as risk-taking as a player like Santiago Cazorla. I think he loves to have the ball, create some magic, but he would rather slow the game down and have possession, just like Martin Odegaard. Now, if Arsenal bring in Arda Guler and they're like, he is your Martin Odegaard option, alternative, he's pushing Martin Odegaard, perfect player. Absolutely perfect option. But if you want something different, if you want an attacking midfielder, and we have been linked with Florian Wirtz before, I don't think Arda Guler is that kind of player. Now, the advantage with Arda Guler that you have, he's still very young, and Arsenal need options, Arsenal need players. That's the truth. This Arsenal project needs option. If you don't have Odegaard, can Arda Guler step in? If you don't have Declan Rice, can you play and play like Arda Guler? You can do that definitely very, very well. And the third option is Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons has been talking about his future, and this is on the Fabrizio Romano Twitter handle. You can check it out. He was asked about what he thinks about his future and whether he's going to stay at RB Leipzig. And he said, I am in love, a young player. I'd love to, play for different clubs. I would love to play for even much bigger clubs. And right now, I'm focusing on RB Leipzig, but my future is definitely open for discussion. Now, Fabrizio said that he can leave for 75 million euros, and Arsenal are looking at him. But I kind of feel like, I don't think Mikel's going to spend 75 million euros on a player in attacking midfield. What I can say is I can see Mikel go for a player around 30 to 35. The way we did with Fabio Vieira. Mikel and Edu thought that the gamble on Fabio Vieira would work out. I mean, 35 million euros, not a bad player, not a bad profile. It just didn't work out. So I think Arsenal will go into the same waters. 30, 35, 40 million euros for a player that can come in and change the game. And that's why I still think that all the options we're discussing are still very possible, and all of them are still very, very difficult. Because I think Xavi Simons, can the price be negotiated down to 45 million euros? No, I don't think that's possible. Arda Guler, absolutely possible. I think 35 million euros, you can get the deal done. Madrid will sell. They want a few reinforcements at the back. If you're giving them some 35 million euros in a player like Arda Guler, they can listen. 45 million euros for Oihan Sancet at Atletico Bilbao. There is a possibility, right? There is a possibility, but I kind of feel like 50 million euros around there. But I won't be surprised if Oihan Sancet 45 million euros is a deal that Arsenal can do. So in terms of the attacking midfield position, obviously we've talked about other options like Sane before on the channel. We'll continue to track who Arsenal are looking at. But right now, Oihan Sancet, Xavi Simons, and the boy himself, Arda Guler, are the players that we are looking at in that position. hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll definitely speak to you right in the next one.